Hello everybody and welcome to another video. This is David flying solo for this special Talking Transformers Toys episode. First of all, before we get started, because I'm talking to you directly in this format, I want to take a moment to say thank you all so very much for your support on this channel. It has been exceptionally kind of you to take the time to watch both the podcast, listen to the podcast, download the podcast, but also to enjoy the first couple of episodes of Talking Transformers Toys where myself and co-host Andy sit around and talk about toys. It has been great. So, in the spirit of playing the YouTube game, if you would like to give these videos a like, give us a subscribe if you're not already, and of course leave a comment down below. We would really love to engage with you, and I would really love to hear your opinion on this video itself. So, with all that out of the way, let's try and cut down the 10-minute preamble that I did in the last take of this video down to a reasonable 3. I am in a point with my collection where I feel like I'm approaching the end. Now, when I say I'm approaching the end, I am by no means ever going to stop collecting Transformers, because Hasbro will just pull me back in with something. I am what you would call a sucker. The reality is, however, that about 5 or 6 years ago, I set myself a goal of trying to collect the most modern, up-to-date versions of what I would consider the Sunbow Transformers series. That is seasons 1 to 4, the main cast, and to be honest, it's been relatively easy, because over the course of the last decade, we have been living in the Generation 1 renaissance that we had been waiting for the prior 10 years. Everything is geared towards G1 fans, and while I have my own concerns around that, the reality is, if you were wanting to complete the collection that I was wanting to, Hasbro were basically marketing directly to me. There are situations now where I look at my collection and I think to myself, do I ever need to buy another blaster? The recent Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime leaves me wondering, is this the last Optimus Prime toy that I ever need to buy? Generation 1. Because what I want is, I want the most complete collection. But there are a couple of Transformers where things get a little bit complicated. Because, as I said, I want to complete the line as close to the Sunbow cartoon as I possibly can. And there is one major character, one big bad guy who is a struggle, and that is the leader of the Decepticons himself, Megatron. We know that there is a Studio Series 86 Megatron on the horizon, but we have a camp over here who say that he has to transform into a gun. We have a camp over here who say he's been a tank longer than he's been a gun, let it go, it's 2025, and we have Hasbro in the middle who are saying, look, it's not going to be a gun, so stop it, alright? In my head, I'm thinking to myself, well, do I need my Megatron to transform? Because I don't want him to transform into a tank, because my heart says he should be a gun. But I don't want him to transform into a gun, because my head says it's 2025, he's been a tank longer than a gun, get over it. So maybe I'm in a situation where I don't need a transforming Megatron. So what happens when you need a Transformer that doesn't transform? Well, let's be honest. It's 2025, and it's the era of blockies. Blockies have just given us this. This is the Action Edition 02 Megatron, to pair alongside the Action Edition 01 Optimus Prime and the soon-to-be-released 03 Soundwave. This Megatron is a great figure, and yes, it doesn't transform, but it's loaded with articulation. There is only one small problem, however. It has more distinctive proportions. It has giant hands, it has a giant head. It's not really in scale with the rest of your mainline Transformers. But what if it could be? Because I have some really, really good friends, and one set of those friends is Jake and Anna, who are just two of the most beautiful people that you will ever come across, and two of the most generous. And several months ago, Jake sent me an image of a picture of the Action Edition Megatron, and he said, does this look familiar to you? And I said, well, it just looks like Megatron. He went, no, look harder. And I did, and I still couldn't see it. And then he sent me this picture, and all of a sudden everything made sense. It is, for the most part, based on how Megatron roughly looked in Dreamwave. Now look, I'm not telling you that I am obsessed with Dreamwave, I just so happen to be sitting here with a copy of Prime Directive, thanks again to Jake and Anna. But they also sent me this. This is a set of 3D printed add-on pieces for this Megatron. So let's see if this guy plus this can become my definitive Megatron. Okay, so what exactly does this set contain? Well, as you can see, it's quite simple. It is a brand new head on a brand new ball joint and socket. It has 4 separate faces. We have a grinning face, we have a upset angry face, we have a smiling face, and we have a neutral face. How these work? Very simply, you just slide the bucket head off, the face comes off, and then you put the new face on. Simple as, and the bucket goes back on. Very, very simple. And as I say, as you can see, it's just 2 ball joints. Whoop, I just slid it off. 2 ball joints there, so he does come with a good deal of motion in the head itself. We have a new pair of hands which have multi-jointed fingers, which is really, really nice. It does not have the same motion that would come on the actual edition Megatron, because each of those fingers are individually sculpted and also are on individual ball joints, so you do lose a little bit in the hands. And then finally you get these 2 bits which just reassemble the hip joint, allowing for a little bit of extra height. So let's go ahead and see what Megatron looks like now. And here he is, standing alongside his Decepticon brethren. Now, I know immediately off the bat, Starscream, Shockwave, and Soundwave seem a lot smaller than Megatron. And the reality is, yes, I would have preferred it if he'd been slightly smaller. But I don't mind the actual heft. It just makes Megatron a little bit more intimidating. The truth is, however, this figure really shines when you put him up against his nemesis. So let's bring in Studio Series 86, Optimus Prime. And I don't think you can get a better pairing than that. Megatron, again, has a little bit extra height, a little bit extra bulk to him, which is ideal for what you want for Megatron versus Optimus Prime. So, anyway, what do you guys think? What is your opinion on this upgrade set? Now, before you ask, oh, where do I get one? Where do I get one? Honestly, this set, as far as I'm aware, was just made by a fan in China who just made a specific run of them, and I don't think you can buy them anywhere. This was a gift, as I say, but it is a gift very much appreciated. So again, I want to say a big thanks to both Jake and Anna for sending this over to me. You have no idea how happy I am. And yeah, believe it or not, Hasbro's got an awful lot to do with Studio Series 86 Megatron to convince me to take this guy off my shelf and put a new Megatron in his place. Anyway, leave a comment down below, let me know what you think. Thanks again everybody for watching. Give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more Talking Transformers Toys content, and we will catch you all very, very soon. Bye.